All right. So today we're going to cover over what we call is a schedule for success and/or a power schedule. Okay. Last week I talked about the difference between a hobby, what a job is or working, and also what is business and/or your full-on career that you take pride in, that is your duty, your obligation, that is your 100% right to succeed. I covered over those three last week. So this week I'm going to cover over what it really takes to bring that all together. Because more often than not, your parents, coaches, teachers, everybody starts to say, well, why didn't you do this? And chances are because you were playing a video game, or why didn't this get done? Chances are you got too tied up between maybe work. I know a lot of you guys that are starting to get older, you're going to find that work becomes an excuse. And excuses do not get the job done no matter how much you want to create them. So you have to make sure that you're 100% ready to put efforts towards the right places, and it starts with understanding what your schedule is, how it works, where you need to go from there. Because you will not be successful in anything in life unless you 100% can agree to a schedule that you will commit yourself to. And a lot of people do not do that. And so, and I'm sure Coach Tabs will even say it too, we see that all the time. We see it all the time even as adults. We are challenged by our own schedules sometimes. And that means we have to recommit ourselves all the time. One of the best habits you will ever create is by actually writing down what your schedule is on a daily basis. And they recommend you do that with your goals too. Write down goals, your schedule, write down what you have every single day. So before I really dive all the way in, my next question is going to be, who did their homework? All right, that's pretty good. Not too bad. So before we release for doing the PT portion of today, I will go ahead and go over that with you all. I will make sure that I get everybody's name, and I want to hear why, okay? But I want to hear it. I want to hear about your homework. So, all right. With the schedule stuff, we need to know exactly what it takes to have a power schedule and/or a successful schedule. The big thing is when you look at your day, you have to have a whole bunch of stuff. Like I told you last week, white space on your calendar will be the end of you. Okay, no matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish in your life. You need to have your schedule full. You need to know what you're doing all the time. That's a very big part of growth as a person. So, I'm going to cover over my schedule. All right, I'm going to cover mine, and I want you to start thinking about all these different things. He's shaking his head because he knows. Like I told you last week, I don't compete with other people, right? I don't, because I'm trying to beat you out of everything. I want to beat you everywhere. Heck, I've even gotten a speeding ticket because I want to test that theory. It don't matter what it is. I'm trying to beat everyone for everything. Okay? That's true. That is very true about me. All right. So number one, I get up at 4 a.m. every day. Every day. I wake up at 4 o'clock. I don't care what anybody says. I call that the dead zone. That's when the whole world is still. Even if you're awake. Have you guys ever stayed awake all night? All right. All right. So check this out. How many of you have experienced the 4 o'clock wall, where all of a sudden, right about 4 o'clock, raise your hand if you've experienced the 4 o'clock wall. And it is a real thing. I'm not even kidding. It's a real thing. And what's odd about it is right about 4 o'clock in the morning, something happens in the body. I used to work in the military, and I was on the flight line. And I'll never forget when I was out there and I was doing a job, and it felt like the wrench. I was working on an engine, and all of a sudden it was like, bing. And I swear to you, it was like the wrench dropped on the floor, and I was like, I gotta have to do something. Because like all of a sudden something turned off. At 4 a.m., I got used to the fact that if I get up and if I immediately start motoring myself, I get up, I drink water. Most people won't even drink a bottle of water a day. And that's a shame. You should be drinking a ton of water, and we're going to cover over that at some other point. However, what I can tell you is that I'm going to drink water, then I'm going to use the restroom, then I'm going to go make my coffee, then I'm going to go ahead and start working on my day. I let my dogs outside. I usually will knock out push-ups, sit-ups, and then I'll start walking and or putting on my audiobook, and I'm gone. I'm then writing and making notes, and I'm working on clients, my schedule stuff, goals, I'm working on all those things immediately, okay? Immediately, I get it all done. Usually by the time 4:30 happens, I've already worked out, I've gotten my goals knocked out, I'm already prepared. I could practically leave my day somewhere between 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. I can leave for the day and I can know that I'll be totally fine because I've got my time. From there, usually I will cook breakfast. I love making eggs. How many like eggs? You should. That's power food. Don't forget it. Eggs will be your friend for the rest of your life. All right? So it's a power food, super nutritious for you. Have as many eggs as you can handle. So I'll get up, I'll have my breakfast from there, and then depending on what goes on, I'm making my way to the shower to get out of the house. I've got my stuff. I usually have, which today I'll tell you, I had a 5:30 client, a 6 a.m. client, a 6:30 client, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock client. I had to meet over at 9:45 to get an item done for marketing for one of my businesses. And then I went from that at 10 o'clock and went to go do 2 rehab clients at their house. Then I went back to the gym. I had another client. I had 15 minutes to eat, okay, which I did a turkey and Swiss wrap real quick, and I had some broccoli. So that's what I just slinged. It was in the fridge at the gym, so I made that real quick. Then I had a hitting lesson, one more client, which gave me a ride, verifiable. We're showing up at the gym. I gave him a ride here today. And so I was finishing my client, and what did I do? I packed my stuff up, I walk right out the door, I come here. Okay? Now, this is me. Okay? Now, I'm not done yet. When I leave here at 2:15, when do you think my first client back is? 2:45. And then I'm booked from 2:45 to 3:30, 3:30 to 4, 4, 4:30, 5, 5:30, 6, I run a class to 6:45. I have one client that goes until 7:15, and then I'm going to 9 round because I'm going to clean up work over there, shut the show down. Somewhere between the time of 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, I'll be complete. I'll be answering text messages, phone calls. I will then spend time with my wife, have an amazing dinner, pet my dog, rinse and repeat. That's my schedule in a nutshell. Does that sound like a lot? It's not. It's not. And it sounds like a lot because I'm not calling you all average in that respect. I'm not saying. Okay, I'm not calling you mediocre. I'm not saying that, and I'm not doing it to gloat or pat myself on the back. But what I'm doing is I'm explaining to you how much you can actually accomplish in one day. Now, am I tired at the end of my day? Sure am. I'm 40 years old. I get tired. I do. I'm human. I get tired. But what I'm not doing is I'm not thinking about anything except for contributing the best that I can every day in good faith, knowing that I'm putting the best foot forward to provide for my family. It is my career, right? My business, my obligation, my right, my duty. It is 100% option 3, what I said on Thursday. It is just that. That is my power schedule. That is guaranteed I'm working towards success every day. Let's talk about y'all schedules. Let's break this thing down. All right, so number 1, sleep. How much sleep are you getting a day? We'll just use it in general. Everyone, I need someone to answer each part, someone different every single time. Let's go with the average here. 7 would be 7 hours of sleep. Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
7 hours? All right, 7, cool. All right, 7 hours of sleep. How many hours are you either A, working or B, in school? We'll go with the average of 7. I heard that's mostly an average. How much time are you spending cooking, cleaning up after, and or eating? So, well, let's say I think an hour's pretty fair, right? Everybody agree? Hour? It's pretty good? All right, 1 hour. All right, now, I'm going to tell you what my remedy is at practice. I'm sure some of you may know. But, Coach Taz, how many hours would you say an average practice would be for baseball? Average practice. 2, right? I believe that 2 hours of real on-field practice is perfect. I feel like your attention span's right. I feel like you will get the most out of that. I don't feel like it'll drag on or people are gray manning, just sitting in the background too long. People work, right? Family and friends. How much time do we spend dealing with family and friends stuff? This could be from, hey, my family was like, hey, we're gonna have a game night, or we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. How much time do you allocate to friends and family a day? 3 hours-ish? That's all right. All right, and then how long does it take you to go to and from places? All day long, probably about an hour. So probably accurate. I think that's pretty fair. Then how much time are you spending working out in the gym? Y'all are crazy if you're in the gym for an hour and a half. You must not work out with me. Man, I have 45 minutes. And I'll tell you right now. Hey, ready? Don't forget. What did you accomplish at the end of last week's session? In 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, 250 reps. 250 reps. You can do so much. Hey, one of LSU's best fundamental programs, when they won their national championship in the late 2000s, they ran a program called Flex 100. I have ripped that program into shreds. I love that thing. And I'm not kidding when I tell you I've eaten every part of what that program is. That's 100 reps per, so it's 100 reps, 5 exercises on one muscle group. Think about that on a chest day. 500 reps, man, that's kicking, boy. I'll tell you what, you guys are gonna be some freaks when I get done with you. Watch this. Ready? Gym time. I'll give you an hour. Okay? So we'll do the math. How many hours is this? 22 hours. All right, I'm not even going to verify because I knew it wasn't 24. This is 22 hours. You gave me 22 hours within a non-powered schedule. A schedule that will probably make you okay, maybe slightly successful, right? But you feel pretty good, don't you? I would say overall, like if you followed this, if you wrote this all down, you said, all right, I'm doing this every day, this is my jam, do you feel like you could be successful with the schedule? I think most people would agree. You know, this is pretty balanced, right? This is the area where I'm sure mom, dad, Coach King, the AD, Dr. Furrow, I'm sure most people across the whole school, if they were like, man, Coach AJ, we know you're crazy, dude. We know you're gonna want to work with these kids all day, every day, but man, they gotta have balance in their life. They gotta have balance, right? I think most people would say that. I say that, but I also say you better give 100% to your balance, right? You better give 100% to each one of those areas, right? I am not allocating time, doing my practice while I'm just focusing on schoolwork. Can't do that. See what I'm saying? You can't cross some of these things. You have to give 100% allocated attention to whatever that is. However, we're missing 2 hours. We're missing 2 hours. Where are they at? Where are they at? This is your schedule, not mine. I know where every hour of my schedule is. Where is your time at? The phone. What's that? Video games. Would you believe that being on your phone and playing on video games, do you believe that that's going to make you successful? I mean, I think some people it may pass. Some people it may pass, but as we're talking about, for you to be a successful person, athlete within school and within baseball, I'll give you an hour, right? I'll give you an hour, right? So phone, games, 1 hour, an hour 23. Where's the other hour? What are we gonna do? You guys got tons of time. Tons of time. Relaxing. What is your definition of relaxing besides hanging out at the pool with your feet up and I don't know, doing weird stuff at the pool? What is it?
Sitting on the couch and taking a break.
What would you do at this break time? I would like to know. What would you do with your break time? If people like that, and that's glad. I'm glad you're saying that. You know why? Because you're honest. And that's a good thing. Right? So you sit around doing nothing. What are you getting out of that time? Nothing. No matter what it is. Okay? It goes back to the theory I was talking about. What you put into this thing, whatever you do with it is what you're going to get out of it. And so it's super important that you use all of your time, all of your minutes. I used to say a lot of crazy stuff like this. Like people would be like, man, you know, like, so how many days a week do you work? I'm like, 8. I work 8 days a week. I'm working 28 hours a week, a day too. I'm at it 24/7. I'm gone. Okay? 28/8. I'm testing it all the way through. I'm hitting the dial. How many hours is there in a week? 168. 168. You can tell I'm obsessed about this stuff before. Okay? I know my schedule. Are you control freaks? Anyone likes control? Come on, don't lie. Someone's gotta love having control. Yeah, anybody. Right? You gotta have some control in your life. You don't float around aimlessly. You don't do that. You gotta have control of your schedule, and you've gotta own your schedule. You've gotta earn the right to do certain things. Earn it. I need as much from everybody as possible.
The last time I played, shower,
Attaboy. Great job. Last hour is going to be for hygiene and let's say self-care. Right? We got to fill the schedule no matter what. Every day that you wake up, you have to fill your schedule no matter what. And you should know exactly what you're doing every single minute of the day. You should know what that is. Okay? Now, I'm not telling you that you got to go out of control with this being totally perfect, but on a weekend that you're not at work or school, wow. What do you do with your time then? You know? But you got to know what you're doing with it, okay? What I'm telling you is that I need you to go all in everything that you do from now on, okay? How do we create success in the business world, right? If I'm a gym owner, okay, let's just talk about, because I'm an easy example right here in front of you. It's like a tangible item, right? I'm right here, okay? So if I own a gym, all right, and I want to be successful in my gym, I have to do everything in my power all day long to make sure I'm successful in that. This is the theory of what needs to happen with anything. You know what a teacher has to do to be successful as a teacher? They got to teach class, then they have to do mentoring, then they have to grade. Do you know their work does not end when they leave a classroom? Did you know that? It doesn't end. They're putting in their time. You all have to understand the concept of what it takes. Now you're a kid, right? You're young, you're a young adult, a teenager, whatever you want to label it, don't care how you want to label it. Point is you gotta have control of your schedule. Right? We gotta have control. So what can we do as baseball players to get a hold of this schedule? Let's connect the dots now, right? So now we're labeling it as such. You obviously know you got time. Now you know you got time. So what should a baseball schedule look like? Somebody start.
Workout.
All right, workout. Okay? Workout is 1. We know we got to work out. 2, we got to eat. Okay.
Sleep.
We got to get our good sleep. Let's check boxes here. What else we got to do? Gym. What's that?
Practice.
Practice. Okay. You see what I'm talking about now, right? Continue. Gotta have good hygiene, man. You show up to I'm gonna let you all know when you come inside. You come inside my dugout smelling like some leftover bad feet from 3 days ago. I'm probably gonna tell you to get out of my dugout. You understand why? Because nobody needs to smell that junk. Nobody needs that. We all need to make sure that we're taking care of that. So that's got to be a thing. We've got to make sure that's on the list. So that's big. What else is left? Transportation, right? We got to get to and from stuff. And then from there, we're down to family and friends, phone and games. That is what's left on our power schedule, what we need to be successful. Okay? That is 100% a guarantee as to what we know is there that's left. And we got to have those things too. Okay? I will never, ever be the coach to tell you that you're not going to have some of those other items. You've got to. Because you know what has to be better? What do you think this whole class has been about? We've been doing this for weeks now. Quality of life and right, psychology. We got to keep our brains tuned. Okay, this is a motor, this is a muscle. We got to make sure that this has its time. If this has the time to develop to be able to cool off, if it has the ability to turn on, if it has the ability to grow and develop, then we're going to do the right thing. But if we can't do that, then it's not going to work. So you still need the same schedule. It just needs to be full of you being 100%. See how it works? It didn't matter either which way. It didn't matter either which way. No matter how you cut this for a baseball player, this is still 100% guaranteed in the ranks. You have to do that no matter what. But you know what the difference is between the super athlete, the one that's very successful in baseball, versus the one that's not? What's the difference?
They put more time in certain categories like practice.
They're going to put more time in certain categories like practice. They're going to put more time towards the gym. They're going to put more time towards self-care. They're going to take the extra mile every single time in any one of those areas. Like I said, you know what the difference is 100% effort 100% of the time. That's the difference. Not to say, even when I play Monopoly, okay, you guys ever play the board game Monopoly? You want to hear something else? You want to hear how crazy your coach really is? I love Monopoly. That to me is so much fun. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to buy the whole block. I want them all. I want all the property. And guess who's paying me rent? My family. Go ahead, pay up, chump. I'm all about that. And then what I'll do is I'll walk over into my kitchen. I'll pull out the little jar right there, and I'll pull out a spoon, and I'll go like this. I'll be like, stick them up, I want my money. I'll try to hold my son up on a stick up. I'll tell my daughter I'm taking her for hostage, I'm taking her money. You believe that? That's crazy. That's the extra mile stuff that nobody thinks about. It's all fun, right? I'm just joking, having fun with them, but that's how my brain operates. Get your brain on this level of wanting all. Wanting it all. Want it all. Do it all. Do more. Get control. Be a control freak, man. Be a control freak. Get control of your schedule. The one thing you control every single day when you go to sleep, right? You control that. You control when you wake up. See that? It doesn't matter what happens, that you can control those two things. So if you've been sleeping and you slept all the way, how many of you slept until 10, 11, 12 o'clock today? All right, go ahead, raise your hands. I know there's a bunch of you. Right? Y'all slept that late. You had full control. You have no one to blame but yourself. Okay? You are in full control over almost all the results that you will get in life. I have full control over the successes or the failures of my baseball program. I have full control or successes or failures of my businesses, including my family, including everything I do in life. I'm in full control of that because I choose to take control. Choose to take control with your schedule so you can be successful. Don't wait. Don't wait either. The worst terms is I'll take care of that tomorrow. I hate that. I hate it when I hear that. Hey man, I'll get this in a week or so. No. Hey, you know what? The person that says I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow, you know where they usually don't go. You ever see that? You ever feel that before? Have you ever said that and done that? I've said that and done that. Just being totally honest, I've done that before. But you should not say, I'll take care of that in a week, a month. Don't say that. No great idea has ever gotten better over time. That's a raw fact. If you've never been told that, don't ever forget that either. No good idea ever got better over time. If you got a good idea to put in work, to do more, look, I couldn't care if you got up and you were in the middle of playing Call of Duty and you were like, hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and work my footwork. Boom, boom, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take some reps. That's what I'm talking about. You see that? That's making use of that time real quick to get the advantage. Power schedule, power schedule. Be successful with your schedule. Grab control of your schedule. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Do you have anything you'd like to add? Huh?
So make